Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today because something is definitely broken, guys. And man, oh man, we are living through history right now. This is exciting. It really is. Okay. Um, get a lot of emails. Why are you smiling during all this time? Because I'm right. That's why I'm smiling. But before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. But man, oh man, let's get right into it right away. First things first, guys, right now, Silicon Valley Bank getting bailed out. It's not getting bailed out. Oh, it's going to get bailed out. Well, you know who's going to bail them out? You and I are going to bail them out. And this is an absolute disaster. The government looks like they're going to guarantee depositors their money. And a lot of people, they should do this with all of us, Dan. They're not going to do it with all of us. They're going to do it with this crowd because this is the crowd that's part of the, the in team. You know what I mean? It's their team. Okay, this beautiful boat. So, with that being said, guys, no, okay? There is some justice, though, because the first class action lawsuit against Silicon Valley Bank has been filed already, okay? Craig Becker, Daniel Beck, CEO and CFO, they got named in the lawsuit. And that's the first of many, guys. Now, here's the thing about this. When you look back at 2008, you look at Lehman Brothers, and you look at that fateful Sunday, and there's a great story below talking about this when they shut that bank down, and everybody was called in, hey, clear out your desk. We're going to file bankruptcy by morning. And they were like, really? That's really going to happen? They sent those people in. They cleaned out their office of one of the oldest financial institutions ever, and the rest is history. Now, Silicon Valley Bank, guys, didn't do what Lehman Brothers did. Lehman Brothers had those risky, ridiculous mortgages that were all backed by what they called ninja loans. No income, no job. You could just basically say, hey, stated income, which is the greatest thing ever. How much money do you make? Well, how much do I need to make to qualify the house? About $250,000. Okay, I make $250,000. That's what people did. And eventually, when interest rates went up, which they inevitably do, they go up, they go down. They don't go down to zero like they just did. But when they go up, these people couldn't handle the adjustable payments, and it put them out of business. Now, this time, what's different and what you guys should be freaking out about is that Silicon Valley Bank didn't have risky loans like that. No, they were one of the top tier banks in the whole world. What they had was they had government-backed securities, bonds backed by the government. And guess what? The one thing, remember, these are the safest investments in the whole world. These are never going to go down. They're never going to drop in value. Guess what, guys? Guess what happened? They dropped in value, guys. And the company, the bank, went out of business as a result of that. Isn't that exciting? You know, read below. It's your history lesson for the day. But if you don't think that this is going to have ramifications on everything else, it is. It's going to have ramifications on so many people. I have had dozens of people write me and talking to me about other startups that have other funding through other places. They're not getting paid. One startup, and the guy says, Dan, don't even use my first name. I have to admit, he's got a pretty unique first name. And in the startup community, they'd go, oh, I know where he works. Okay. But they haven't been paid in 5 weeks for the startup. And what they were finally told was, hey, we're going to give you 1 week's pay if you guys continue working. Think about this, guys. If you worked at Jack in the Box and they did that, the labor board would be down there. You know, it would be all over the place because of technology and these startups. They mess with these people in so many different ways. And, it's horrible. So this one individual told me this story, but he said, don't say the industry. I don't want to say the bank that we're getting funding from, but they are out of funding right now. And this is an absolute problem because it's affected so many people. So you're going to see more of this right now. Now, with the bank financing, And with what we're seeing right now today with Silicon Valley Bank and all the other shutdowns, this is just the beginning of this happening. And man, oh man, Jeffrey Gundlach, Frontline Capital, I think that's the name of his business. He was talking about how the Fed, to save face, they shouldn't raise interest rates, but they're gonna raise interest rates. So many different executives have said the same thing, that you're going to see the Fed raise interest rates and just a quarter of a point. Basically, when they asked all the economists right now, what's the consensus? 87% said we're going to have only a quarter point raise. And, you know, they're not going to do half a point. They're not going to do zero because it would be show how bad things are if they did that. So they're going to do just a quarter of a point, and that's going to be the basic salve on the wound for a while. What we're living through right now, guys, is epic. I've had people reach out to me from around the world. A friend of mine from Israel wrote me today and said, wow, what's it like to be right? You know? So it's very interesting, guys, because I'm telling you, this banking situation is only getting worse right now. And you have to look at this. These executives that you think are just going to skate and get out of there and they're going to not pay a price. No, they're going to get sued now. And they're going to have to answer these lawsuits. And they individually got sued, which is nice. So when did you sell your stock? When did you know this? What about X, Y, and Z? Do you want to meet the most ruthless people in the world? Seriously, because I've met these people. I was the head of a class lawsuit for these people. It's the class action lawyers. Man, they will fight to the bitter end to squeeze money out of something. And they will do that. So that's what these people have to look forward to. So share your thoughts so far. Want to know what you think. It's very interesting, to say the least. By the way, Jeffrey Gundlach's company is Double Line Capital, just for the clarification, so you guys can stop typing the correction. Couple things that are absolutely amazing. If you guys think that things are normal right now in the economy, you need to look at certain sectors, certain buildings, certain shipping, certain transportation areas. Think about this right now. Since they've kept records, Freightways magazine said that February was the single worst month for people losing their jobs in the trucking industry. Absolutely awful. 8,500 people were out of a job in 1 month. Okay, why, guys? Because they're not shipping anything? No, people are not buying things like they used to. This is the beginning of this, guys. This is it right now. Now, with the absurdity of this, great story out of Colorado. Xcel Energy, XCEL Energy, the power company, you know, that is just charging astronomical fees right now. Well, their executives right now got paid staggering bonuses right now, guys. Huge bonuses. So much so that the local radio TV station in Denver did a report on it. And it's absolutely sickening. These guys are charging people while people are freezing, and they're making all this extra money. It's just absolutely, it's just unbelievable right now that that's what they're doing. So people are not shipping anything. Home Depot sales are off. Lowe's are off. People are not shipping goods and services, goods around the country. I would say services, and you guys freak out. This is happening right now, right before us. Sales are off right now. Think about this one, because this one's nuts. Do you know that Elon Musk, you know how that they financed, Tesla was financed through what they call equity financing. And I read this great story about this, about instead of being in debt and borrowing tons of money, they use equity financing, issue securities, and he doesn't owe anybody. Tesla doesn't have any debt. That's the lesson that you guys should look at with Tesla. I mean, this is unbelievable. This guy's pulled this off and been able to finance things like this. This is a lesson in business right now, because when you look at companies like General Motors, okay, and Ford, by the way, they were both 1903 and 1908 is when the companies were started. And Tesla was started when, guys? 2003. Produced the first car when? 2012. Okay? This is fascinating, guys, when you think about this. But Elon Musk, you have to give him credit because he doesn't owe people a ton of money. That's how he's been able to do this and make so much money during this time. So the other car companies, they're doomed. Now here's the part about this that really is sick, is that when I was married, which I don't talk about much, my ex-wife was a tile and stone rep. She was very good at it. She sold containers of tile, containers of stone, granite countertops, high-end marble, things like that for your floor, for your countertops, all that stuff, okay? We would constantly have to buy large vehicles like Explorers and the big Nissan Armada, things like that, because she would drive so much, just like I did, 40 to 50,000 miles a year, but she would just work through these cars, and you couldn't have a little tiny, Prius that would carry the stuff because it just couldn't handle the weight of what she was lugging around. So one thing that we would do, because I'm a chiseling guy, it's just my nature, is that we'd constantly look for deals on cars. We rarely, if ever, bought a new car, and we were together a long time. But the point is that we would get deals on used cars. The best deal was 24-month lease turnbacks. Okay? Our goal, talk to the dealership and we'd say, listen, we want to know who owned this car before us. The best people to buy cars from were cops. Okay? You can think I'm nuts. These guys maintained the vehicle. They usually drove to work and back, weekend stuff, and that's it. Low mileage, but maintained the vehicles, cleaned the vehicles. We're clean people generally. We had a tremendous amount of success doing this. Now, with that being said, just, she would buy these cars. They'd have low mileage after 2 years, 30,000 miles or less. Okay, it'd be crazy, okay? Get a tremendous deal on the car. I'd grind the car salesman down to the floor. It would be great, okay? Then we would go buy the car. You're seeing such a problem with the auto industry right now. Think about this, that they are going to start having, think about this number, a 6-month lease for a vehicle. For the EV industry, electric cars. Hey, you want to try this? Now's your chance. Try this car. That's how desperate they are. This is not a good thing. This does not show stability in the industry. This shows that it is upside down, and they've got inventory galore sitting there, and they want to have a 6-month lease for you to have a car. Guys, this is just loony land, okay? So the lease turnsbacks are starting to come back in on EV cars. And you're starting to see things that have to be turned around, and they need to get the cars off the lot. So you're starting to see 6-month leases. How do you drive a car for 6 months? It's a long rental period. So share your thoughts on this one, but crazy. Always look at, once again, if you're going to buy anything, a boat, a motorcycle, a bicycle, a car, a house, do some research. Do yourself an ounce of research, because all these people out there that went out and bought homes and didn't have an inspection, I think they're regretting that now. Okay? Man, the stories that have been sent to me, guys, where people had $60,000 plumbing problems that the people knew about and sold the houses, but you signed off on it. Think about that. All the different issues, all the electrical problems, substandard work. My brother Tony, he's a good guy. He wired the house. It should be okay. That type of stuff, just a disaster, guys. One after another, guys. And these people are paying for this. So I'm at Naples right now, guys. This is the canal. All the houses out here. It's really nice. It's beautiful. Great place to come walk. But share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. Do you ever, when you look at used cars, we can't tell you who bought this car. You want to get a good salesman. Hey, find out who owned the car, what they did for a living. Okay? Hey, this was a married couple, young kids, and this was their second car. Perfect. Oh, they were a, home improvement salesman. Oh, really? Well, pass. You don't want that car because the guy's going to drive it into the ground. See what I'm saying? Things like that. Do an ounce of research. Where you want to live. Things are changing. This is now a buyer's market in everything right now. Whether you believe that or not, take control of it. They're going to lie to you. All these realtors, they're telling me what a difficult time they have closing sales, getting people to show up for open houses. This is just the beginning. Share your thoughts on all this stuff so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, as we live through history and everything unfolds with the banking, one thing that has happened lately is that gold has started to shoot up. You can jump on this bandwagon, guys, by getting yourself an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. The best place to do that, Patriot Gold Group. Call them today, 888-330-1431, and ask for your free investor guide. They have a no fee for life IRA and 401k, and they can even transfer your existing IRA or 401k over. Think about this. Gold in the last week has shot up 5%, guys, during this time. You don't want to miss out on this. You need to get yourself into safe haven investments. The best place to do that is Patriot Gold Group. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. But guys, look at the economy, look at the stock market, look at the banking. You need to protect yourself and you need to protect your retirement before it's too late. Contact Patriot Gold. Use the link below or call them today at 888-330-1431. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. They will answer all your questions. Do it before it's too late. Do you guys believe in coincidences? Because I don't. And I find certain things funny when I see them because I'm like, oh man, look at this. Okay. There's something that's going all over social media right now where two of the executives that worked at Silicon Valley Bank, guess what, guys? One of them worked at Lehman Brothers, one of them worked at Deutsche Bank before they went down for the count. And people are saying, isn't it ironic that these people work there? Kim Olson and Joseph Gentile are being lambasted right now because these people worked for the defunct Lehman Brothers and Deutsche Bank. Joseph worked at Deutsche. Anyways, I find that fascinating that everybody thinks that that's just the most sinister, unbelievable thing ever. You want to see something crazy? Remember the TV show The X-Files? Okay? Well, The X-Files did a show 15 years ago talking about the banking crash and how it was going to be done and how it was going to be done on a Friday. And when you look at this video, guys, this is what just happened. So, you know, Mulder and Scully, or Smully, whatever her name was, Smelly, you know, whatever, crazy, okay? I really like the Hank Moody character better. I could relate better to Hank Moody than I could Mulder, okay? Anyways, I think you guys get the point. But the link will be below for this because it's crazy. And it really is funny that this stuff happened like this. And, you know, what do you guys think? Think it's just a coincidence that we're seeing this stuff like this? Because I sure don't. One thing that's fascinating is how this whole problem started. Basically, they're saying Silicon Valley Bank had made deals with certain California regulators and that this was a California problem. Once again, the beauty of things like this is the speculation's out here, and then we settle on reality that comes to light at some point. One thing that's inevitable about this is that we all need bank accounts, and you and I are going to pay more for everything. We talked about this yesterday about how banks are trying to come up with more subscription services for us to buy to be able to use the banking services. Guys, this is crazy. You know, oh, you want online banking, you're going to pay for it. You want this, you're going to pay for it. Regardless, there's going to be more fees. One thing that's popular with low-end banks, with people have marginal credit, is they charge you per transaction. So it limits you from, gosh, do I really want to purchase this? Do I really want to write a check for this? They do this so that you think about it. You can have 8 withdrawals a month. Okay? Well, it's my money. Nope, doesn't matter. They don't care. Okay? With this being said, think about this. The government, and this is from Bloomberg, this is not Dan making this up, they are talking about something in addition to the FDIC to backstop, that's the word they used, the potential that people would be panicking with bank runs. And what could they do to help this secure, you know, people's feelings and make them feel better during this time? It's really windy over there, so I'm just going to turn this way. With that being said, guys, think about this. So FDIC insurance is not enough. We need some new backstop to hold this back. Think about this, guys. This is it. This is it. If you guys ever wanted a time when the banks were going to start to crumble, it doesn't happen overnight, but think about this. Silicon Valley Bank went out of business in one day, guys. One day. It wasn't, there's issues. This was a top-tier financial institution that when you read about this, it was the best place to put your money in because they were backed by everything. They had large deposits. You know, again, the idea of their investment in your company and having that as a backing was carte blanche. It's like, hey, Peter Thiel's backed me, so we've got action. Silicon Valley Bank had such a prestigious reputation in medical, biotech, life science, innovation, you know, robotics, all these different industries, guys. And it went out of business in one day, okay, because of this. You don't think that there's other financial institutions? A couple of days ago, I read that list of 20 different banks that were in trouble. Guys, get ready, guys. This is it. So protect yourself. So many people, dozens of you have written me, Dan, I set up 2 more bank accounts. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Okay? You don't have to go put 80 grand in this one and 75,000 in this one. Put $100 in something else. But have something so you can make deposits, make withdrawals. If you need to do online payments, you've got a place to put money into so that you can make payments with that. And again, guys, check your credit cards right now. Check your debit cards. They are changing the spending limits on these cards right before our eyes. It's absolutely insane. And I have so many people that write me and say, yeah, you know what? I thought about this. I always thought I had like $3,000 I could get out of the ATM, and it was $500. No, they went and changed it. Go get those limits raised. Go ask them. The worst thing they say is no. I want as much as I can get. Do not give them a number, because if you give them, I want $1,000, we can do 800. Okay, that's how that works. Ask for more. Okay, worst thing they say is no. Remember that. Okay, so share your thoughts on this stuff so far. But a new product beyond the FDIC that should scare everybody. But this came from Bloomberg, guys. Okay, Dan didn't make that up. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. And the first one is France. There have been protests in France about potentially raising the retirement age from 62 to 64. Well, guess what? Parliament just voted on it. Retirement age in France is now 64. So people are freaking out about that. So, you know, again, 2 more years before you can retire, which a lot of people are livid over this. Plus, the final thing is Jim Cramer. You guys know what a complete clown I think he is. But he said something that makes a lot of sense, and that is that, you know, people were giving him a hard time about how he touted Silicon Valley Bank before it had, you know, failed. And he said, listen, any of us can give a bank run. But one thing that we have with all these failing banks that people need to look at is we're getting no assurances that things are right and that we have no leadership when it comes to these assurances. So there's problems. And good old Jimmy boy realizes that. So the clown in chief himself is saying that there's big, big issues right now. So the only truthful thing that guy said in a long time. And he didn't say bye, bye, bye. It just said that trouble's coming and we're in the midst of it. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have an email list, and so many of you have signed up for the email. We have one coming out this week. Sign up for the email list, guys. Please take a look at our sponsor, Patriot Gold. Onward and upward, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I am so grateful for this. And I thank you for all the nice cards and letters that you send me all the time. And it warms my heart that people take the time to write things. You ever want to do something nice to get connected to somebody? Sit down and write them a note, write them a letter. That's the best thing in the world. And I appreciate the people that have taken the time to do this. Thank you, one and all. Don't forget, hello at iAllegedly if you want to send me a story. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very, very soon.